8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Come on, come on, come on. How you want it, cognac or Patron? Brunch with the boys, we gon' give you what you want. And what you don't know, we about to put you on. Come on, come on, come on. How you want it, cognac or Patron? Brunch with the boys, we gon' give you what you want. And what you don't know, we about to put you on. Yes, we are the trending topic. We relationship prophets. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest.
What's going on? It's your boy King Des here. Another episode of Brunch with the Boys. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Easy. What's good, everybody?
I am Gent.
All right, so we're gonna move along.
We're not even gonna address that shit
because it's way more important than his whack introduction is the fact that we have a special guest this evening.
Yes.
Hey, Tina.
Hey, how are you?
Good. And Tina is from a podcast called Flawed and Free. And so, Tina, how about you start off by telling us a little bit more about you and this podcast that I know you are so excited about. I can feel the passion and energy when we spoke.
Yeah, super excited. I'm fresh and new off the press, and the name of my podcast is Flawed and Free. And my podcast the vision of my podcast is actually to help free people from the perception of perfectionism. So I work as a spiritual midwife, and what I do as a spiritual midwife is to help people birth out their purpose and their promise into the world. So I meet people in the space that they're in, and I meet them outside of the rigidity of religion and tradition and help them transition to transform their lives.
One of the things that we want to do today is just kind of start off with a little bit of a game that I want to play with you that we at Brunch with the Boys call food porn. You cool with that?
I'm here for it. I'm here.
All right, terrific. So we're going to start off. So the first question I have for you in food porn is, when you trying to impress a man, I mean, for whatever purpose, you want him or you want him in your bedroom.
Isn't that the only purpose?
Oh, that's technically true. But you trying to impress him. What's your go-to dish? What you good at?
You know, this is a hard question because I'm actually an awesome cook. But I don't cook to impress men. But since I'm going to follow I don't. But since I want to comply with the question that has been asked, if I were to cook a dish to impress a man, it would probably be, I personally love oxtails, and a lot of the men that I've dated in the past have loved them.
Okay.
So.
I can appreciate a good oxtail.
Yeah, little oxtail and rice and gravy.
That's not a great pre-sex meal, though. That might stuff
It's not
them up
sexy.
a little bit. Yeah. No, I mean, it's
not
great.
sexy,
It's
but
not
it's comfort
sexy.
food.
Yeah.
It's comfort food all day long, and everybody needs that.
I agree.
You dated a Jamaican at some point, or what's the deal?
Jamaicans are the only ones that make oxtail.
I mean, but we make it the best, though.
No, I actually haven't dated a Jamaican, in all honesty, but my ex-husband was African.
Oh, okay.
So,
Don't do that, Jen. Don't do that.
Hey,
that's
don't-
unbecoming.
That is dummy.
oh no,
That's
my
tough.
ex-husband was.
All right, you ready for the second question of food porn?
I'm scared, but I'm here for it.
So let's say, when you're sad, let's give the example of you just broke up with your ex and
Everything's about a man. I mean,
I'm just asking. I can't ask no question.
I'm perfect.
So you walking out the mall and then you see him with his new boo, locked hands. You know what I'm saying? It makes you feel a certain way. When you get back to the crib, you want to comfort yourself. What's your favorite comfort food?
Oh, I love fresh baked warm chocolate chip cookies.
I think I love you, girl.
Better than oatmeal?
Man, who the
Oh,
hell likes oatmeal?
I
I'll
love
punch you in the
oatmeal
face right now.
but not like the chocolate chip. And they gotta be fresh and they gotta be hot. Once they cool off, I don't want them no more.
You want them older spunk mines they used to sell in school.
Yeah. Those used to be lit. Yeah, no. I definitely love them. And I gotta have either a cold glass of milk or some vanilla ice cream.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm stopping by CVS on the way home.
You sound like you got a chubby right now, dude.
I said, it ain't chubby. It's fat.
You said all the right things, girl. All the right things. I agree with you, man. Hands down. That makes me feel better.
Yeah. Respect to you.
So
All right, so you ready for the last question? All right. So the last question is, if you're having sex, what food are you comfortable bringing into the bedroom?
I mean, who wants to eat in the bedroom? Are we
Let her
talking
answer,
about
let her
to
answer.
eat? No, I know. I just want throw a couple options.
No one should be eating.
Is she using them for sex, or is she just using it as a
refreshments
before? Or
I mean, or to utilize as a tool. You know what I'm saying? Like some caramel. You know what I'm saying?
That's
food gets in the way in the bedroom. It don't really belong there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe before we get to the bedroom, but by the time we get there, I ain't got time to be playing with no food. I'm just gonna leave that at that.
Who caramel?
Who gonna clean the sheets?
Now it's on your mattress. You know,
So you ain't never put honey on it, like Popeye's chicken?
honey go in tea.
So you rip the packet open and then pour it on the dish? God damn. You couldn't get regular honey?
But who doesn't like the classic strawberries with cream? I like that in and outside of the bedroom. So if I had to choose, and I had a husband, because I ain't doing none of this without no husband these days.
Okay.
But
Like a respectable woman.
Old school.
From time to time.
Well, why is that? Let's go into that a little bit. Why is it that you won't do any of that without a husband? Like, would you not meet a man worthy of that to the point where you would want to give him that? Don't you get some type of pleasure out of it as well?
Some type of pleasure out of what?
That relationship.
Out of doing all of that. Like
Well, yeah, absolutely. With the right person. You know, I've had my share. If I don't get anything another day, I probably wouldn't be missing nothing. I'm not quite sure if anybody could show me anything new. Maybe they could, maybe they couldn't. But there's just a lot that comes with that. There's a lot that comes with that. And at this point of my life, it's just not really worth giving away. So I've just made a personal decision to save myself for marriage. So that don't mean I've always walked this walk.
Yeah.
This is a walk that ain't been easy to walk, but I'm here and I just made that decision for myself personally. But it has nothing to do with my personal desires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ain't forgot. I ain't forgot or even what it is. I ain't forgot, and I don't have no issues in that area. No complaints, no issues, no concerns. Nothing anybody needs to,
I
be
gotta
worried
see a
about.
picture.
Well, today what we're going to talk about is understanding personality types is really important in a relationship. Kind of knowing what your type is, the characteristics, really allows a person to understand what they got to offer in a relationship and what they're going to look from, their partner. Also understanding your type might provide some insight to why you are anxious and you're fearful and when you're not acting within your nature and why. So it's very important to understand that and understand what lane you're in so, you can be happy, therefore make your partner happy.
So you basically saying, what's your personality type in a relationship?
Yeah. Basically.
Alpha, beta, whatever.
Alpha, beta, sigma, delta, omega.
Blue fight.
All right,
What, are you asking me what my personality type is?
Do you already know?
I absolutely do. For myself or for my partner?
Let's start with you. Do you know what your personality type is?
Yeah, I do.
And what would that be?
I'm an alpha all day.
What is an alpha? You want to read that off?
Yeah, so basically when it comes to alpha females, there's a number of things that, describe this woman. So one of the first things is that they're just high emotional intelligence. So they can recognize and understand their own emotions and then recognize and influence other emotions and then also be aware of what emotions drive behaviors and impact people, whether positively or negatively.
She sounds manipulative.
That's potentially what it could be.
No, not manipulative, not at all.
Okay.
Emotionally intelligent, yes. Secure, yes. Manipulative, no. Manipulative is for people that don't know who they are and are insecure in their settings, and so they have to find a way to become secure in their settings. So they manipulate their environment to make it work for them. I don't have to manipulate my environment at all. I'm very secure in what I have and what I bring to the table and who I am, so I don't have to manipulate. Most alphas, in my opinion, people are drawn to them because they're charismatic and they're attention drawing sort of beings. So people, you don't have to manipulate your environment for people to see you. You just enter a room and people gonna figure out who you are.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, that's another characteristic or trait that they're highly sought out. Like, do people constantly ask you for your opinion in your group? Are you the go-to person in your group of friends?
Absolutely. Always have been, continue to be very comfortable there. Yeah, I am.
They always asking you for your advice?
Absolutely.
Do you think that multiple alphas can function together? Would you say that you're the only alpha in your group?
Nope.
So then you can get along in an environment peacefully.
You can. I think it depends. I think
because
yes
I know women
no.
are petty as shit. You know that, Dad.
No, I think it depends upon the person. Because I think you can be an alpha, but you can still kind of carry, beta or sigma characteristics at the same time. Some people aren't just full on 100% alphas. Now, I do have someone in my circle that's an alpha like me, but she's kind of in a different sort of way. Her and I in a room, we don't fight for it, but somebody usually takes dominance over the other. So there's still, even if there's a couple in the same room, there's still a hierarchy.
Understood.
There's still a hierarchy between highest to least.
Okay.
That's why I think I have an issue, and I've gotten to this issue before with the boys on the panel about the word manipulative, and I think I stand by the fact that I think that's been getting a negative conversation. And being a manipulative person is simply another way of saying that you're able to impact and affect things within your environment for some particular purpose. Neither negative or positive, simply that you're able to do that. So my point is, I think that was a slight contradiction. I won't say a contradiction, but when you said earlier, as an alpha, you don't need to manipulate. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think that by having that emotional awareness and intelligence that you talked about, I know in my job, I don't think my boss is an alpha. I don't think my boss's boss is an alpha. I think if we were in the streets, or this was, zombies had come and this was the apocalypse, I would take what they had and dispatch of them, right? But I'm also aware that they pay me a significant amount of money, which allows me to do really awesome things with my friends and family. And all I have to do is not be walked on, have an opinion, but also know what's important to fight for and what's important to give up. Do you know what I mean? So, and I don't think that makes me any less of an alpha. So I use those emotional cues and social cues to understand and manipulate the environment and my way of interacting with that environment.
And she said something about possessing characteristics from betas and other. In this situation,
that sounds more like a sigma.
No, and see
what
that's
you're talking about sounds like more of a sigma personality.
Explain.
What is a sigma personality?
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
And if we're going to talk about a sigma male, they're usually the people who don't respect the rules of any game, but he beats the game anyway. He's mysterious, which makes all the women kind of crazy about him. He kind of quiet, and that's because he takes a lot of time to calculate people and their intentions. This man is amazingly self-confident too. He got amazing business skills, kind of like what Des was talking about. And he has that charismatic approach. Really easily can seduce any woman that he wants.
So is it not safe?
Be right.
Yeah,
she might be right.
She might be right like a mug.
Oh my God!
No, when you hearing all that right there, boy, it's hard to argue.
Hey, she read his tea leaves.
But listen, boy, Sigma out here winning too now. You over here No, they sell you on the alpha being the best. Listen, these Sigmas out here are successful. Okay, they playing the game and they win it. You know what I mean? But I was really wondering, does not an alpha possess characteristics from all of them? You know what I mean? Doesn't that by nature, almost define the alpha, is that they cover all bases? You always say there's players who can do this, there's players who can do that, but your great players can do a little of everything. And doesn't that define alpha?
I mean, I think for the most part, alphas are they're extroverts. I think that sometimes their confidence is perceived as arrogance. I think that their dominance sometimes is intimidating to others. But I do believe, like I said, that you can still have some, some sub characteristics, if I just use that as a word, that fit into other categories. You know what I'm saying?
You're smart.
But you still primarily fit into an alpha category.
And to be honest with you, there's it plays out differently. What an alpha man and an alpha woman may look like, just based off of gender. I mean, there are some crossover pieces, but staying back on the woman, because I want to still figure out if you really truly this alpha woman that you claim to be.
I think she is.
I'm sure.
All right. We still there though with you.
Hey, I'm here for it. So however you want to rock it, I'm here for it. Wait, I'll put it down. You pick it up.
Okay. So they say that alpha females are very highly ambitious, very inspired while reading and doing their studies. Their potential and their ambition is limitless. So they seek out mentors and they look for new challenge and new opportunities. They always want more everything, more money, more chances, more everything.
How?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's absolutely right. For me, if I'm speaking for myself, I can't speak for every alpha female in the United States of America. Okay, right. But my perception of that, based on my personal experience, absolutely, I'm super ambitious. That's just how I live. That's how I've always lived, and that's how I continue to live till I die. I have 4 degrees, and I was working on my doctorate. Once I finish something, I'm ready to do something else, do something new, do something different, add to this, add to that. So, I'm always seeking out ways to better myself, and then I help people to do what I do. So, as a part of my life. So, absolutely.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I have a question, and this can be for everyone, or it could just be for Tyna. Does an alpha female need to be an alpha in every situation with her partner? And what I mean I'm not just putting that to the bedroom or sexually, but I mean just in every situation when it comes to finance, when it comes to the home, when it comes to how the kids are raised, or is an alpha female able to work in tangent with that male? And does an alpha male automatically have slight dominance over an alpha female in a relationship?
So for an alpha female, an immature alpha female will absolutely want to be dominant in every situation. Mm-hmm. A mature, experienced alpha female understands that she absolutely does have weaknesses that require the dominance of someone else. Mm-hmm. If she's smart.
Right.
If she's smart. And I think that takes maturity, wisdom, and experience and time to kind of decipher between how to balance between the two.
Right.
Because it's detrimental to a relationship for an alpha female to carry the dominance over the relationship, despite where her partner lies, alpha, beta, sigma, whatever the case may be.
Right.
It's detrimental to the relationship for her to carry the alpha characteristic completely and totally all the way through. You have to know the areas of weakness to know where you need that partner to step in and close the gap.
Word.
You understand? So, because it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. You're going to be by yourself lonely the rest of your life. If you think that even though you carry, but the partner that the alpha female chooses has to be able to complement her strengths and her dominance. So he has to be significantly supportive, and he has to be also very secure in his position to understand when he needs to step in and cover and close the gap, and then when he needs to fall back and let her in her alpha, characteristics,
You're
stand
exactly
up
right.
and kind of take the lead.
You're exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah, so one of the things, because, you were just kind of talking about understanding how they fit together. One of the things from an alpha female that's a trait is that they can cultivate harmony. So basically, they're one of those people that if they're with their friends or a group of girls, kind of unspoken leader, they kind of set the tone for the group without really having that power struggle. I'm assuming that also translates also into the relationship with an alpha man or any man, actually. Doesn't matter the personality type. I really want to start, I'm going to turn it over to Jezzy and kind of maybe dig into some of the things that make an alpha male.
I'm surprised to read some of these things, but I guess they all really do make sense. A persistent man is an alpha male. He's courageous. Yeah, he can entertain. He can tell a good story. A lot of niggas can't tell a good story, A lot of niggas have great stories, but can't tell a story. Mm-hmm. He's learned and educated, and that doesn't necessarily mean he has a degree, but he's knowledgeable on the things that he knows. He can cover many, many different topics, and I think that the main one that sticks out to me the most is that he has purpose. You know what I mean? And that's the most defining trait. If you really think about an alpha man, he's not busy thinking about trying to find himself, but is instead creating himself. And that's really the difference between any man, really, and an alpha man. He's making it happen. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But we should really dig into the other ones, man, because we touched a lot on this alpha, and I know that sticks out a lot. But when you described Sigma earlier, I didn't know they was getting down like that. What's the beta do?
Clean up the shit.
They must sound horrible right there.
Yeah,
I don't do that.
Yeah, you don't do betas? God dang.
Can an alpha woman be with any other man outside of an alpha?
They
Maybe
have
Sigma.
to be. They have to be with they do better with a Sigma, in my opinion. They have to be with someone other than an alpha. I think alpha females and alpha males don't. I personally don't think they match.
Yeah. Okay, so you basically saying whoever you get with, you think in some way emotionally you're above him.
I think alpha females and alpha males are unbalanced. So for me, a lot of alpha males are attracted to me because there's a conquest that comes with who I am.
Yeah, that is how I feel about it too.
And so they're real attracted to me, so they come after me. But at the end of the day, I know that I could not link up or yoke up with a true alpha because
yoke up and touch my spirit.
It just ain't gonna work. It just ain't gonna work. Somebody trying to claim dominance. Somebody trying to run it. I'm trying to,
it sounds like they sound like they might pee on each other a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to get down too.
Stronger. Alpha males are much stronger, and they actually prefer. Like once they get over the conquest of, okay, I knocked this down, or I got her to kind of fall back and let me take the lead here, then it's over for them. The alpha female can't continue in that totally submissive role. Alpha males like more submissive. I mean, completely like straight up like beta women.
Yeah, so let me dig into
So is that what beta is?
No, well, I wouldn't say beta is like super submissive. Dang, we're not gonna use strong words like doormat. You know what I'm saying? That shit. No, but because when I read up on this, man, they said beta guys are the ones that are the nice guys. So maybe and they always say nice guys finish last.
They do though.
They do. They say it a lot. But
can I touch your boob, please? No, okay, it's fine. I was just asking because it doesn't matter, honestly. Like,
no, he's like that guy
they talk like that.
No, and he does ask, like, "Can I kiss you?" You weak ass nigga. If you gotta ask for that shit, she don't want that shit. You gotta go in there. God damn it, I hate that shit.
He makes sounds and shit.
Is it okay if I kiss you? Oh my god, dog. I feel sorry for that nigga.
There's somebody doing that right now.
No,
in Orlando,
and he's gonna go beat off when he gets home because he ain't getting I tell you that.
You're not gonna.
Hey, that might be a good session though.
Depending on what kind of porn he got.
Let's pick this back up off the ground, guys.
No, but so these beta guys are the ones that typically are the nice guys. They're sensitive, they're modest, they're reliable, they're easygoing. However, they kind of
motherfucker you want your daughter with.
Yeah. No, let me ask you this though. This is for you, Tina. How do you feel about sensitivity? Being an alpha woman, do you look down upon that? Nigga can hit you with his feelings. I don't know. I'm just talking shit, but I can just see you. Yeah, there's like, this nigga really soft as shit, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, you want me to come wipe your tears, nigga?
Or your
and I'm not
ass,
saying he's
baby
gonna
ass
cry. You know what I'm saying? But if nigga hits you with some more, like, man, you know the way you did that really made me feel some type of way. And you know,
That shit sounds soft. That sounds soft.
What's wrong with a man saying how you
soft?
That sounds soft, dog.
What's wrong with a man telling you how you feel? I don't understand.
I think men should absolutely tell their partner how they feel.
Yeah.
I'm down for the transparency and I'm down for that. What I'm not down for is the pity parties. What I'm not down for, I think it's okay to be sensitive. I think it's okay for men to be nurturers. Women are not the only ones that should be nurturers. I think that men should be intuitive. There should be an anticipation that comes with a man and how he perceives his woman's emotion and how to meet her there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's okay. As a matter of fact, I think it's necessary.
Not only is it necessary, and I hate to cut you off, I just want to say,
but I'm not with you falling out on the floor crying. You know, I'm not with you sitting up here like, oh my God, I'm such a victim. My life is over.
Slap that.
But I've seen it. I've seen it. No lie. I've had men break down and fall out, right in front of me. Like, I just didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, okay.
On a quick tangent, I just want to mention something she said about being intuitive to your partner's feelings. You selfish motherfuckers. I don't care what you've been with these motherfuckers for this long. You understand their moods. You see how they're acting. Do something about it. Be proactive. You know what I'm saying? Right. Anticipate their needs. You know it's been 3 fucking days. Drain my balls, ho. I don't need to ask for that shit because I know I've been fucking handling business. You know I went to work. I made you dinner yesterday, nigga, and I folded laundry. Get on your fucking knees, goddammit. It's day 4, ho. You know what I'm saying? So anticipate needs. And when you do a nigga like that, and I said this shit a million times, watch what that nigga do for you.
Oh, yeah. It's a different
man,
dude.
Come
it's
on.
a different dude.
All right, my bad. Go back.
No, yeah. I was concerned for you for a second, man.
Hallelujah.
Dez's eyes opened up real wide.
That was hard.
These dudes, though, these betas, they're easily embarrassed, too. They're not quite sure about their looks or their personality.
So ugly then, too?
And it doesn't necessarily mean ugly.
So you can be good looking and unsure about your looks?
There's plenty of good looking people that still find flaws in themselves. You know what I'm saying? They look in the mirror and it's cracked in their mind.
What about
the beta females? Oh, man.
So those
gotta be easy.
Yeah, so the beta females, they're little.
That's who you was just talking to, by the way. You said, "Hold you to drain these balls." You was talking to her.
Was I?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can't talk to an alpha male like that. Alpha female?
Yeah,
if it was a male.
My bad.
We keep going back and forth, but you can't talk to an alpha female like that?
You try.
No, bro.
I don't think you would. I wouldn't even say that to the beta, though. My point really is
somebody got to get it.
You know what I mean? But I don't think you would have to say it like that. In order to get. And if you say it like that, you damn sure ain't gonna get it like that.
No, let me explain something. Wait. Let me explain something.
Straight me out.
Whether the woman is an alpha or not, regardless of alpha, beta, said wherever you put her, if a man is tending to her needs and he's anticipating the things that she needs, if she's a real woman, not a child, if she's a real woman, then she is gonna serve you in the way that you want to be served.
Not the way that she wants you to be served, but the way you want to be served.
Right.
My point is, if she's giving to you and she's serving you and she's anticipating your needs and she stays in the spirit of servanthood to you, then you will naturally reciprocate that back to her. And ain't nobody gonna have to have a conversation as to what somebody's getting and what they not getting. Because if my everyday thought is how can I serve my man, how can I please my man?
This is a revival.
That's how it's going down for real. This is a revival. Then the divorce rates would not be that high.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's just saying.
Yeah, we ain't even gotta have what's understood don't need to be explained. You don't have to have this conversation with me because I'm gonna already be right there with you. I tell women all the time, you gotta meet me or beat me. If you keep that in your mind and you do that for your partner does that for you, then you guys, ain't nobody gonna lose.
Nobody.
Listen, Tina, you on fire. You on fire, okay?
And it sounds so easy. I say these things all the time. I say, it sounds so easy. It sounds like a myth, a fairy tale. God damn it. But it's a beautiful thing, man.
That's why you gotta be careful who you gotta give yourself time to discern the person, the partner, the potential that's in that person. Do that. You gotta know exactly who you are so that you know that, okay, this person has ABC, XYZ, they can meet me here in this space. But a lot of people are picking partners for potential, and people aren't really picking partners for how they can meet their promise, how they can meet their purpose. So they don't pick purpose partners, they're picking people in the moment. And what happens is, once you outgrow that moment, as you evolve, you're not picking a person that you can take into your future that can go with you. You're picking somebody in that moment. So that's why it's okay today, but it don't work tomorrow. Okay. So you got to really be clear, and you got to really know who you are. That's when you see.
Tina,
when you see those certain characteristics, you be like, nah, that ain't gonna work for me.
All right.
That's a no for me.
All right, you passionate about this one, so
I second that. All of it.
Hopefully you got a fan at home because
third and fourth passages.
Need to air it out over there.
I'm gonna listen to this podcast again just to hear what you just said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna inspire me every day.
I'm just trying to say, I'm not joking, girl. Shit.
So I wanted to just finish up with the beta female. She's like an alpha, but a little bit less dominating. She is a good person, right? But she'll suffer in silence.
And you say
no? I'm just saying, alpha? Like she's gonna pretend that she's fine in public, but she ain't really good.
Is she gonna straight?
Nobody gonna hear that shit.
Yeah, I
gonna talk to you at home.
She gonna talk to you at home. She's the one like, baby, can I talk to you in the room? Yeah. Listen, bitch.
No, don't do that.
But in public, she gonna be like, no, I agree with you, baby. You're so right.
Some dudes want that though. They want their front street clean.
Dude,
garage be messy as fuck though.
Almost every man will prefer.
I prefer that
for you to praise him in public, even if he knows you gonna spit on him in public. I think every man prefers that. And I don't know about y'all. I'm just keeping it real. And listen, this is coming from a man who has been publicly embarrassed. And I don't know what anyone would rate me, but reading some of these things, I think I'm looking like an alpha man. You know, catch me on a bad day, nigga might be a goddamn Sigma. But for me to have taken that and not check a bitch, and anybody who knows me knows I'll check a bitch. But again, I was trying to do the right thing. Mama raised me right. I can't deal with that shit right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where I was going with that.
No,
I just had a flashback of that thing. You know what I'm saying?
So the beta female is the one that is, makes an amazing best friend. She's always there for her loved ones. She's slightly passive aggressive, but she also goes with the flow. And I don't know if I really want that.
How can you be passive aggressive and go with the flow?
I mean, because passive aggressiveness is really going with the flow, but you're still aggressive with it still.
Yeah. I hate a passive aggressive woman. I tell you, it might be the one characteristic.
What do you think, Des? You like a passive aggressive woman?
Oh hell no, I like confrontational. I like somebody.
Yeah, someone just keep it real. Say that shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, tell me something. Don't tell me my shit tastes good when it's nasty.
I love that shit.
I want that.
Hit a nigga. Yeah, that shit tastes good. Yeah.
Yeah, I want that.
Girl, that's how you lose teeth.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I want to dive into the gammas. The gamma personality, specifically for a male, is that shy guy. You know what I'm saying?
Suck ass.
Never has the courage to make that first move. You know? When you compare him to the alpha and the betas, you can see some real differences. So he tries so hard to achieve his goals, but he don't really want to go that extra mile to finish something, even though he knows that he'll gain some respect, the same respect that he craves so much. So this is the type of guy who want to be famous by any means necessary, but will always fail. You know, he ain't
That's
shit.
tough.
So with his bosses, they're the ones that will just nod their head to everything that the boss has to say, but they're actually not even listening and they think about everything else. In a romantic relationship, they're difficult because they can get obsessed with a girl. Like,
you ever had a clingy man too?
Yeah, it's a clingy man. Yeah, they can turn into stalkers. You ever had a clingy man?
Clingy. A man that might stalk you.
A clingy man?
Yeah, clingy. They don't enunciate.
Yeah, I have. I have. They don't make it far.
Yeah.
But I have.
I've had a clingy girl. I think most men.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for every nigga. So a lot of niggas out here struggling. But I think, I've had more than a handful of clingy women.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially in college, that would drive by your apartment and shit.
I had somebody leave a bear in my window in my house. And I was away from my house. And my house was locked up. And I came in. It was a bear and a note. Yeah. Came through the window.
What?
And this came through the window?
Yeah, it was a tree right next to my you could actually climb out the tree and climb from the window.
You lived in a good neighborhood.
She did that. And then she, like, when I saw her on campus, I didn't know where it came from. When I saw her on campus, she was like, "Do you like my gift?"
She couldn't even leave her name. That's creepy. That's scary as shit.
Yeah, I had broken up with her probably like a month or two before.
You did well though. It's in 2019. I heard they don't break up anymore. I heard they just stop talking to you.
Start ghosting.
Oh, that shit tough. No, that shit tough. Because everybody wants to avoid that tough conversation. But anyways, I don't want to get sidetracked.
No,
what's up with the gamma female?
The gamma females, she ain't really similar to an alpha woman at all. Like, so this woman is always cooperative, ready to help. She is someone who feels good, that she has all the information. She always strives to be healthy, but she feels damn good in her skin. If you want to rock her world, you need a real strong man, or she won't even look at your ass. Faith is really important to this gamma female. Like, she's extremely spiritual. She's also goal-oriented, extremely hard worker. There's nothing she wouldn't do to, achieve her goals. In romantic relationships, she can never be with a guy if she feels that they haven't clicked. She needs to know that he is completely hers, and she wants a man that goes all in, because she's not going to settle for a man that she doesn't believe deserves her. Which, I mean, shit, that's everybody, right?
Yeah, that's everybody right there.
You know?
True.
What I wanted to talk about was the Omega. I thought that was the big dog.
No.
They do beat them women? What they do?
Nah, that ain't the big dog.
What is that? Okay. It says the Omega definition is just to imagine a mix of the alpha and the beta. So this should be good. He is not the type of guy who women can twist around their fingers, but he gives them all they need to be happy in a relationship. Oh, so he is a dog. That sounds like a nigga who just know how to play the game there.
Yeah. Sigma-esque.
Would you call an Omega a player?
Wouldn't that be a Sigma though?
Seems like they got similar characteristics.
Yeah, he wants to get all the credit for himself. You know what I'm saying?
He's not a leader.
He's
not a team player.
He sounds kind of selfish, actually.
Yeah. It's
know?
a lot of niggas like that. It's a lot of Omegas out here, selfish ass niggas. If it's 2-on-1 on the fast break and he laid up and he missed that shit, that's an Omega ass nigga.
Yeah.
An Omega ass nigga right there. I didn't realize that there are this many personality types, and I know everyone's different. And I think I always say, everyone's different, but I didn't realize there were these many characteristics that they really honed in on.
Yeah, we're not even covering the Delta male.
Talk to me about the Delta female. I want to know what I need to know about these women out here.
Well, the Delta female is she's shy, modest. She'd rather be alone than with someone that she doesn't know well, and
she falling for the game easy too.
Yeah, she sounds like she's
lonely.
Yeah, she do.
She also knows
study together.
Yeah, she was study together.
Was that your in college going to study together?
Possibly.
Well, she knows that good things don't happen overnight, so she's pretty patient. She's one of those people that sound like you when you were talking about Tina. When you were talking about, listen, I know what's out there. I'm waiting on the right thing for the right man at the right time.
Tina could have a relationship tomorrow. This woman you described, she ain't got no options.
It's against her nature. Well, I think it's against her nature.
I think also she's naturally going to be in a position to never really meet a man. It's going to really have to be some type of Jesus miracle.
She's probably using. I think she's probably using in like technical positions.
She just doesn't seem like
maybe
she's
around.
Female.
We talking about these Delta women.
Oh, the Delta women. Okay.
Yeah, they do triangle. So.
No,
there you go.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Yeah. They say a Delta male is a normal guy who tries to be as successful as he can, who tries to find someone who will be able to understand him. So that's the basis of a man, a Delta man. We're just out here trying to be successful and trying to get the job done. He doesn't have the same amount of self-esteem as an alpha, but he tries his best, to be his best version of himself. I mean, that's a cool guy, right?
Yeah, it's 20 homeboy.
Yeah, I mean,
what's fucked up is he can't attract the most attractive woman, so he needs to accept the fact that he won't spend the rest of his life with some, type of model.
Damn, why can't he attract that?
You got to luck out though. He trying to find out the haystack.
Yeah. And if he gets a good job, you know what I'm saying, brings in the big bucks, he should be able to upgrade.
You think women care about that? I don't think a lot of women care about that.
Well, let's ask Tina. Tina, you have a man here.
She's also alpha, but go ahead.
Okay, no, I know, but still,
it matters.
It could be a Delta male she got right here. So we're asking him: would you prefer a man who was, good looking, and he made, let's say something low, like 35,000?
Yeah, that's low. That's
40,000. 40,000. Okay, and he makes 40,000, and he's more like a 9 in looks versus this nigga who's a 6. He ain't ugly. He's just alright. You know what I'm saying? But
or 7.
No, he a 6. He a 7 if he get a haircut.
That's
and
a
fresh
D.
outfit.
That's a D.
I'm just saying. But this nigga here, guess what? He making 175. Really? I mean, are you more inclined to give that nigga an opportunity? Does money give an extra edge? Keep in mind, he could be treating you the same. Both men, attentive, intuitive, etc.
The other dude is passionate about what he does too. He's passionate about what he does,
and maybe even more so because he knows he's not that cute.
Oh Lord, you done put a lot of caveats in this. So I'm gonna do my best with this answer. So I would prefer an ambitious man that can make money as much as myself, if not more. Because we got bills at the end of the day. I mean, that's reality. And not only do we have bills, I mean, we want to be able to create wealth together. I really don't put a lot of emphasis on money. It's a contributing factor in my decision making, but it's not the end all be all for me. I will take a man that makes lesser money that is more valuable in other areas.
I don't know if you answered the question.
The money doesn't always, but it is something that I look at.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about your ability to provide for the household, even if I'm making as much money or more, but there's other characteristics that man would have to possess. So I would not want a man that made a lot of money but couldn't meet my other more valuable needs.
Money doesn't cover that. Yeah.
Right, because I actually make decent money for myself. So the money is not really attractive to me as it would be for a woman that maybe is looking for a man to solely provide her financially.
I agree with that.
She the bagger at Publix.
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, that type of woman, then maybe she feels differently. But for me, I'm getting my own bag. But so the guy has to be, I'm okay with him getting his bag, but he's gotta meet my other needs as well. I find value in some of the other things.
Yeah.
I can give with the money.
All right.
Everybody, listen real quick too. Everybody that's making what people consider a low paying job doesn't necessarily care about making more money. Like there are people in this world that aren't, and I'm not. This is in response to what Tina said. I'm just saying in general. There are people in this world who don't care about having a big old house of money. I just saw a special on HGTV, and they got a whole series of them about people who buy shipping containers and make houses and live off the fucking grid, right? And because they don't want to owe anybody any money, they don't care about being a millionaire. They just want to live a simple life. There's tons of people like that. Like that. So to think that everybody is wrapped up in how much somebody makes or how big the house is, that doesn't shake everybody's whistle.
And Bob Marley once said, "My riches is life," and he always said that he never chased money. I do think that comes down to your personality and what's important to you, because I mean, you can be really happy with a simpler life. You know what I mean? And it's really not all about the bag as much as everyone's talking about it.
So let's kind of talk about what personality types actually mesh well. Based off of what we've learned today, boys, as well as Tina. And which ones may not even click at all. So from your thought process, Tina, what's 2 personality types that just do not click?
I think personality types in the same class. I think you have to have some sort of counterbalance of some sort, regardless of what you pair with the other.
Yeah.
So I don't think an alpha should be with an alpha. I don't think a sigma should be with a sigma. I don't think a delta should be with a delta. I think that there should be some, balance with whichever you pair together. For me, I think alphas I do better with sigma males. I don't do well with alphas. I don't do well with betas at all.
What about the Omega, the regular guy? He seems cool.
The Omega probably has a good mix, I think, of some of that dominance that's attractive, and then that charismatic kind of personality, but then at the same time can kind of fall in some of those sigma characteristics. So probably the alpha and the Omega would be great.
I feel like two sigmas would be cheating on each other.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
I don't trust you. Like, there could be no trust there.
All you get is a text. Can you pick the kids up tonight going out for drinks with the girls? No, bitch, no, you're not.
Oh.
Don't lie to me.
Three times this week? Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
I can tell where your phone is.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think any of the same personality types should be together. It definitely seems like you need the difference. And this is what they always say, opposites attract. Yeah. I think they're more speaking in regards to personality specifically.
I know as an alpha, because I probably constitute myself more of as an alpha male, but one thing I know I'll never get with is probably going to be a sigma female. And
you too sensitive for that.
Yeah, you are.
Because only because the sigma female is a really emotional person. She's one of them people that if she got hurt in the past, she gonna want revenge, no matter how long she gotta wait. And
no matter how long.
Yeah, when she mad, nobody wants to disagree with her because her look can kill.
Women,
she real proud. You know what I'm saying? She's one of them people that just, I don't know, can't move on and kind of stuck. And I don't know. She wants to be an alpha, but she ain't built for it because of her emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Quick tangent. Move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's over. And yet you just keep trying. Nothing's changing. You keep doing the same shit. And yet you just hoping for a miracle. I really feel like we have to know when to move on in life, in relationships of any kind. You know what I'm saying? Shit is lingering too much, man. I'm hearing it too often. You know what I'm saying? You still fucking with him? Yeah, man. Golly, it's like, that's not the only piece of dick and pussy out there. Like, move on. There is somebody out there for you. And hearing this topic today shows that more than anything. The different personality types is exactly why you're not vibing. So move on.
So Des, why do you think that's important for these persons just to know your personality trait and try to figure out the personality trait of a potential partner or someone you're gonna date or get serious
and who
with?
do you see yourself with too?
Yeah, I want to know that too.
Awareness is key. Awareness is key, and that's in any situation, particularly in relationships. Being aware of what's important to you, what's important to you allows you to understand what's going to complement you and others. And listen, I won't pretend to have an in-depth knowledge of all of the levels of personality types we talked about today. But what I would say is, whatever the things are that are weaknesses of yours or deficiencies, where you could benefit by bolstering that with someone who has those innate qualities, is the type of person that's going to go best with you. And I think you got to kind of understand who you are as a person first to for that to work.
But women, please don't take advantage of that. Because and men too, don't take advantage of the fact that you know that this person has a deficiency in this and that you are proficient in this and you're going to utilize that from a position of strength to manipulate.
That's a sigma.
Yeah. I mean, just manipulate the situation or get over or try to treat the dude or the woman ill and really try to utilize it as a platform to dominate them in some way, shape, or form. Just because you have some differences, typically you're supposed to utilize those differences to have a much more productive relationship. But there's people out there that's using these differences as just a knife to stab someone in the back with. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with that shit too.
That's the world, though. I mean, that's the world's a game, and the game is understanding the weaknesses of others and utilizing them to your benefit.
Damn, survival of the fittest.
Darwinism.
All day, every day.
I want to hurt a little bit.
I don't think there's a room of betas having this conversation. So
nah, they be too shy for that right now.
That'd be the nigga that just brought the Jimmy Johns over and shit.
I'm Jimmy Johns.
Yeah, so just kind of to wrap it up, I want to do a quick shout out to Pops Witherspoon, man.
Oh, yeah.
Homeboy died.
And about back then for about 45 minutes.
Bang, 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 bang. We saw him in the improv one.
Yeah, we did. It was funny, too.
Maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and it was so crazy how many celebrities reached out and just an outpour of love and sympathy. I mean, he touched a lot of lives, man.
Big ups to Pops, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. I know that at the end of the day, we're talking about personality types, and I appreciate that you came in. I mean, so well learned,
Tina.
Yeah, she was.
Appreciate you.
It's like she had studied or something. She was ready. Very knowledgeable. We appreciate
this was awesome.
So, and therefore, we definitely want to plug your podcast one more time, if you don't mind, and maybe shoot out an Instagram handle and so forth, and let them know what's upcoming for you.
Sure. So my IG handle is Flawed and Free. You can check out my website at theflawedandfree.com. And I got some new things coming up. I just did a live broadcast the other night on Kanye West's conversion to Christianity.
Okay.
And I'll be putting that on my podcast as well. So there's a lot of good
Any
things
good tracks
coming.
on that?
Any good tracks on there, Kanye?
On that new album?
Yeah, new album.
I heard it's all fire.
Yeah, I've heard it. He got a couple of hot tracks on there. I'm not a Kanye fan. However, I am a fan of the message.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of the man, but I'm a fan of the message, and that's what it is all day, every day. So I don't look at people for their position, their title, or their influence. I listen to what people say, and I see and examine their heart. And if I rock with it, I rock with it. If I don't, it don't matter. You know, that's just so. But yeah, so I thank y'all for having me on. I thank you so much. It was an honor and a pleasure and a lot of fun. So
Thank you.
We appreciate you greatly, Tim.
Yeah. I also feel like there's going to be a lot of people pulling up at church with like 12-12s in the back, bumping some Kanye West.
I doubt it.
You don't
That's probably completely
Maybe.
accurate. Probably will never happen.
Yeah, the one time a year he goes. Easter.
Not Easter.
Yeah.
Watch night.
Cool beans. We appreciate you.
Yeah, y'all already know where to find us. Brunch with the Boys.
We on everything: Instagram, Facebook,
IG
YouTube,
as well.
For sure. Spotify, iTunes. Just find us. We're going to do the drawing for our anniversary drawing. We're going to be drawing out 3 entries for winners. Remember, these winners are going to receive a Brunch with the Boys t-shirt, Amazon gift card, as well as naming the next pod, as well as being a special guest as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we will be doing that video live, and
It'll be fine.
it's, we want to show some love to all of our listeners and nationwide thugs.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all hold it down.
Yeah. Coffee and brunch. We could have our conversations over coffee and brunch. Ha.